What's going, guys? Stevie from the Minute Master here, and today I got another cool thing you can do to your truck: under the hood lighting. So I'm sure there's been times that you've wanted to go out and check your fluids or your engine, and it's nighttime, you don't have a flashlight, and you don't have enough hands to hold your cell phone flashlight and look at whatever it is you need to look at. So wouldn't it be convenient if you had an under the hood light? Well, luckily for most of us, they do come standard with them. Like Ford's got this one right here, but they usually don't work. As a matter of fact, this one actually doesn't, so I'll pull that one off and dispose of it. And they're usually not that bright. Well, KC HiLites has supplied us with their solution. This is the KC Cyclone. They're about 2 inches in diameter, and the advertisement is being like cabin lights, auxiliary lighting, under the hood lighting, or in like rock crawlers, they put them up in the wheel well so they shine down on the rocks. So I picked one of these up, and I'm going to mount it right here under my hood. It's going to shine over the general area that I usually check, being, you know, my oil catch can, air filter, oil dipstick, you know, the stuff that, and, you know, check your spark plugs, make sure everything's hooked up. So I'm put on this side because it's the side that normally you have to check a lot of my under the hood components and whatnot. So let's get started. So with the, you can buy these separately, just like this, or you can purchase the kit. So I purchased a kit. It comes with a ton of wire. I'm assuming it's probably around 20 feet. And it comes with all the little connectors, and it even comes with a toggle switch. And it comes with a sticker. Now, I tell you, the KC Cyclone's a cool light, but even if you didn't want the light, just do it for the sticker, because the sticker's just so cool. So they come with all this wiring and some caveman simple diagram on how to install it and how the wiring should be. So this should really be a piece of cake. Also, if you're interested, they come in a variety of colors. So like if you wanted in the cabinet lighting, or if you want to do some accent and things, like guys who are on the Baja, they'll pick different colors so their vehicles stand out. And then they have little pictures of, you know, different uses. There's a rock crawler in the cat lights under the hood. So first things first, I need to get a wire from my battery over here to run up for the hood, and then I also need a wire to run through the firewall and into the cab for the switch. So I'm going to start running the wiring, and then I'll show you what's next. So first things first, we're going to find a place to mount our handy little toggle switch, and once we get that set, then I'll know where to run the wire from, and, you know, going through the firewall. So this is a 95 Ford F150, so you're going to want to remove the dash. There's behind these fascia pieces that are here, and here is a screw that holds the panel on. And then you have to remove the headlight switch, which is a matter of pulling on the switch while pushing back on that little metal spring there. You can kind of see that little piece right there, and pushing that back, pops right off. And then it's a matter of these little like spring clips that hold in the top. So you would pull it off. Obviously, if you have a different vehicle, you'll have to figure out what you'll need to do. And I decided I want to mount the switches here. It's kind of like, I don't have, my truck's terribly standard. There's no, I mean, I have roll-up windows and all that. So there's all these extra places where they probably would mount more instruments and whatnot. So I chose this spot, and I'm going to drill a hole to mount a toggle switch. So I have a step drill bit, also known as the Christmas tree drill bit, and I'm going to drill a hole and put our switch in. So, you know, a step drill bit is handy, because if you drill the hole and it is not quite the right size, like this, all you need to do is press the drill bit even farther to make the hole wider. You don't have to put get the next size drill bit in, ogle it out. And as you can see, that cuts a very nice, fine, clean hole. So you won't have to worry about a burred edge. So I definitely recommend that you get a step drill bit. Okay, so we have our switch in place, Next, it's time to run the wire through the firewall and connect them. Now, as far as connecting goes, they do come with crimp connectors, but I highly recommend that you solder your wires, especially on a vehicle. You know, you're moving around so much, and if you ever go off-road, everything is just going to get bumped around so much that they just wiggle apart. So the way to ensure that they don't come apart is by soldering them. So if you have a soldering iron, solder them together. If you don't have one, get one. They're like $9, and a spool to go with it is like another $2, and I'll tell you, it's worth all the money. You'll get a factory finish, and it will hold for forever. Now, as far as running the wire, I looked underneath here for a way to run wire through the firewall, but Ford has very smartly only allowed like a double-sided plug for all their wires, so they're not run loosely through. So I drilled a hole through the firewall. Yes, I know that's not recommended, but I'll fill it with a plug, and then I'll put some like an I'll put a rubber gasket in there to keep the wire from rubbing, anti-short type of thing, and that will keep that. So that goes through the firewall and comes out right above one of the wire plugs, and then it's a simple job of just running it over the battery. Okay, so I've ran all the wires and I've installed the switch. But now I'm going to get a little creative here. So the original factory light was here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop out these clips. I'm going to run them through these pre-existing holes and put it right here in the center, so it shines center on the hood. But as you can see here, I have my power side. And then the KC light comes with its own screw and fender washer that once you drill your hole will allow me to mount it right where I need it. So I'm going to do that, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so I finished putting everything together, and it's looking freaking awesome. Very, very factory. Matter of fact, I don't think Ford does this good of a job. So it looks pretty cool. Very well integrated. So there it is. I mean, look at it. I took the old one out, restrung the wires through the old loom there, mounted it. It's not center, but I did that just so I could keep up with that outside insulating. And then I ran the ground wire from the directions. I ran that, found the ground here, and then I ran my power, zip tied it all the way and hit it, and ran it over to the battery. Now KC gives you this really neat inline fuse thing, so if you don't feel like soldering one into place, they have this one, and it's literally like a snap into place. So you feed the wire into it and you just crimp the thing down and it's in place. Now it's not solid. I may remove it and put like a waterproof one that I'll actually solder in place, and then be all good to go. But that does the fix. And then I ran it, put it on the positive side of the battery. So we're going to close that up. Now, next thing is, let's see if it works. So reach in here, flip the switch, and voila! I mean, look at that. That's pretty bright, and it's still daylight out. So I can imagine the kind of light this is going to throw. I mean, look, you can kind of see it shining on. You can clearly tell there's, shadow, visible light. All right, so there you have it, the KC Cyclone lights. They're, accessory light, brand new as of I think this year. So if you need light underneath your hood, or you need it in your cabin, or you need just anywhere else you need some neat little light and you don't want something kind of junky, go with the KC Cyclone. Alright, that's all for me. I'm going to clean up my windshield, put my cool KC sticker on my windshield, on the back windshield. Until next time, this is the Minute Masters, and thanks for watching.